Nice to catch up with Pat Cummings here in Singapore. Pat, fresh from Dubai and obviously mates with Mike de Kock as well. Let's quickly chat about the performances of some of the South African horses there. We'll start with soft falling rain. His performance on the night seemed nothing short of spectacular.
He absolutely covered the most ground in that field and really had all the work to do. And I thought it was an incredibly impressive effort, especially as I thought the second home in that race, Hafek, had a real outsider's chance. And Soft Falling Rain had to do everything to win it. But, you know, frankly, it's a massive credit to the team for showing their strength to know what that horse was capable of doing. And I think it's going to be incredibly exciting to see him going forward.
Let's give a little bit of your background, Pat, and to Trakus as well, because your operation basically is the software that tracks the horses in a race.
That's right. So we put a tag in the saddle towels to track the horses as they're running and install wires in the ground on the courses and then some antennas around the course. And it enhances the graphical depictions of the race so that you can actually follow your horse as the race is going, as you will have seen in Singapore. In Dubai, we do it as well. But we also collect all the data from the races, how much ground horses are covering, what the individual sectional times are from the first place finisher to the last place finisher. So there are nuggets of information that can be withdrawn from that. So I'm certainly hoping to get to South Africa. I will go to the Durban this year for the first year, and we're certainly hoping to get Trakus in South Africa.
Have appointments been made with some of the authorities there in terms of getting this thing started and off the ground?
There's certainly been some preliminary discussions as much, but I've followed the South African racing for so long, and I know that at a course like Greyville, for example, that final turn is so long and so winding that when you're three wide the trip, you're doing a lot of extra work. So you might be in the clear, you might have some cover, but you're working harder typically than the horse that is to the inside of that. And to be able to quantify how much ground horses are actually covering, I think it's profound information. It's 21st century information that the sport, I think, really needs.
Let's jump back to Dubai now. The second performance on the evening for South Africa was Shay Shay. Now, unfortunately, he's not here in the Chris Flyer. How would you rate his chances if he were to be here?
I think he would be the shortest price on the night. I know sometimes the local contingent don't pay as much attention to the international horses, but you know, when Shay Shay lowered his own course mark by more than a half second when he wins the Outcast 3 weeks after setting it for the first time, he'd be a very short favorite. And frankly, it's funny, so much of the international media here already talking about the Royal Ascot meeting coming up, and basically Shay Shay is considered a good thing right now in the sprints at Ascot.
Mike de Kock's obviously had tremendous success with the South African breds in Dubai and here in Hong Kong and Singapore to a degree as well. But talk about the Apache in the World Cup night itself.
You know, I actually tipped the Apache in that race. I thought that the Duty Free was one of the most open races of the night, and there is no denying that Sajha was really so progressive through the course of the campaign. But in a race that was open, I thought the Apache offered some really great value. He ran a very credible race. In fact, he ran 3 very credible races in Dubai. He was one of only 2 winners for Mike de Kock first up in Dubai, because normally his horses have really needed a run. But the Apache came right into form out of the quarantine, stayed in form throughout. I was very impressed, and there at least seems to be some chatter about possibly bringing him to America for the Arlington Million. I think it's a phenomenal race for him. It's a perfect race, and I would be reaching for the mortgage check if the Apache goes to Arlington.
Last comment from you, Kavanagh in the Chris Flyer, the South African representative.
He is my tip. I've loved what I've seen from him in the morning. I'm willing to be wrong with my own money if it doesn't work out. But he last year I was really supporting Addo. I had tipped him second, but he had the most impressive track work for me, in my eyes, of the week, and he pulled in a big outside chance here. Kavanagh, to me, had the best work of any horse for the international races when he worked up the backtrack here in 35.1 on Friday. He had preceded that with a very good work. He is on the muscle. I like Kavanagh.